I'm not budging 1 inch, mister. I have to have the last word. You can leave me here for all eternity. I'll never utter any such thing. You can bet your long-lasting life on it. Nothing like that will leave my lips. Nothing like that has ever been true. Those words are the furthest thing from the truth. They never can be true!
What do you know of truth, Captain MT?
What's that supposed to mean? I wear the cloak of hidden beauty. I have the ability to make my own truth.
As has been stated repeatedly, you are not in Kansas anymore, Captain. The cloak made you equal to my saber. Barely. What do you think it makes you in comparison to me? Would you like to find out?
That's quite alright. The cloak still needs time to recharge after its earlier exercise and outing.
So be it. Remember that the next time you speak out of turn. Now the words belong to me.
Don't they always?
Words have never been an issue with you, Captain. They've always come too easily. As the old saying goes, loose lips sink ships. How many times has your ship been sunk by the lone fact that you talk too much?
Hey now, I resent that. I may flap the jaw a bit here and there, but I don't go on any more than most.
Perhaps you are hungry, Captain. I could serve some spinach.
Oh, that's okay. 17 years of it is quite enough for anyone.
All because you had to shoot your mouth off. Pride enveloped you. You lost touch with your surroundings. Your ego got in the way of the job at hand. You were beaten.
What of it? Who doesn't fail once in a while?
You, Captain MT, are all intellect, all reason, all data. You think, but you do not feel. You have nothing guiding you but cold, hard figures. No warmth, no tenderness, no love, no passion of any kind whatsoever. You have no emotions, Captain MT.
Of course not. Nothing seen, nothing hidden. I am nothing but pure reason, pure reaction based on the needs of the moment. There is no subtle emotion clouding my judgment. What I do because it is called for, by me. I do what I do because it is what has to be done. Because I think it needs to be done. It is my decision. It is my need. It is my want. There is no room for sentiment in life.
Captain, if a tree falls in a forest and you are not around to hear it, does it still make a sound?
Of course it does. What kind of stupid question is that?
If you speak in a forest and there's nobody around to hear you, are you still right?
Is this a trick question?
Why are you so sure that you could never be wrong, Captain? Ariel can be wrong. I can err. What makes you different from those of us who walk with you?
Walk with me. What makes you? I'll let that pass. This time. To admit the possibility of failure is to admit one imperfect. That is not possible with yours truly.
You don't mean to say that you really believe yourself to be an embodiment of perfection?
Of course I do. Look at me. Have you ever seen anyone cuter in your life? You better be making sure your shoes are tied, buddy.
Steady there, my friend. We shall deal with this in another fashion. Since your ego is apparently unable to be damaged by words, you won't mind if I attempt to take a side blow to its inner nature.
Time is money. You're the one spending it. Waste it as you see fit. I'm on your dollar now.
So be your words, sad man. Roll it.
This is an age of speed, a nervous age that keeps our emotions stirred. All of us, young or old, schooled or illiterate, are endowed by nature with the ability to live a life filled with many kinds of emotions. But whether we will show them in an uncontrolled outburst, whether we will act in some antisocial way, whether we swallow our upsets or deny them even to ourselves, we cannot do away with them. They are part of our personality. We inherited many confusing and conflicting ideas about emotions, some of which still linger on. But today, people in distress need not conceal their emotional problems anymore. They can find help and counsel from a new group of specialists: psychiatrists, psychologists, social workers, and the modern religious counselors. In this film, we're not concerned with clinically disordered emotions, but with everyday experiences involving emotions. For these, we must start at the beginning, with the newborn child. Welcome, young man. Welcome to life. For you, as for all children, life begins as an emotional experience. Obviously, this new and strange world comes as a shock to you. Though just 1 minute old, you are a personality with a name, an identity by which we recognize you as an individual. Look at him. This new individual is well equipped for all the physiological functions of living and for emotional responses to events around him. From his first breath, he is capable of being happy or unhappy, and can make others around him happy or unhappy. How he learns to use his inborn capacities will largely depend on what this new world offers him, how he, as a child, will experience his relations with others. For emotions are not learned deliberately like skills or facts. The baby will develop them through living with others, by responding to those who handle him, speak to him, comfort him, or provoke him, by reacting emotionally to those he sees and touches, to those whose songs he hears. And so as the child grows, he will learn many new things, some from books and teachers, but probably much more from trying, testing, accepting, and rejecting. In other words, from living with others. From the beginning, the child literally feels his way through life, loving, hating, worrying, trying to find a place for himself in this new world of grown-ups. From day to day, the basic emotional responses tie in with one new experience after another, with cue after cue, with the child's own responses to new situations and new cues. As an example, an infant experiences a strong emotional shock when the pediatrician gives him his first injection. Several signals may connect with this unpleasant experience, such as the specific odor of the office, the color of the doctor's jacket, the sight of his instruments. Later, when the mother brings the child to a doctor's office, the mere smell of it may provoke the same responses that were part of the earlier experience of pain, and these in turn may release emotional responses of crying and rebelling in defense against the anticipated pain. As the child matures, she can tell herself that the visit to the doctor's office is important for her health. Therefore, she can soothe her responses by reasoning, which means that she has learned to control an emotional reaction through signals given to herself by reasoning. In his daily routine, the child continuously learns about life. Memories of many of his early experiences may fade and seem forgotten, but they are rarely completely erased. Although he may not be conscious of them, they are often operating in his later life as the forgotten childhood. Where a young infant's drive has been kept low, where parents paid attention to his early requests, the child easily progresses to the next developmental step, exploration, striving to achieve some gratifications by himself. This struggling to achieve gratifications by himself is part of the preparation for later life. But even at the height of achievements, it will be the childhood patterns of his emotional experiences that will largely govern his relations with others. That's why it is so important that he learns to manage emotions honestly as he develops physically. Where did a helpless infant get this capacity for emotions? Just as he could breathe, eat, and digest food from the time he opened his eyes, he could also respond with emotions. Let's try to visualize what goes on inside the human body when pain or danger threatens. The adrenal glands release hormones into the blood. The heart pumps the blood, carrying these chemical messengers to all parts of the body. In the liver, they release an emergency ration of stored sugar into the bloodstream. The heartbeat accelerates. The blood pressure goes up. Breathing becomes faster. From this point of view, we may describe emotions as primitive biological reactions to painful or threatening stimulations from outside, intense responses involving the whole body. From the very beginning, the human baby is equipped with this emotional defense setup. As his experiences grow, his emotional responses become more varied. Here is a boy just beginning to explore the world, with curiosity, with eagerness. But the road of exploration is not smooth. He is unable to handle his blocks, and so he's frustrated and disturbed. Sister's too young to help. Here comes Mother. The toy hammer is a good release for his emotional and physical reactions, and soon the blocks are forgotten. Someday he'll be able to meet such frustrating incidents without crying. From day to day, his play experiences are increasing, not without occasional upsets. These are his sister's crayons. And here's Lynn to claim her right.
Dr. Max, you bad, bad boy.
This is a familiar scene and a very significant one. Observe how Lynn uses words to express her emotions. That's quite a step forward from crying or hitting.
Bad, bad boy.
Sometimes grown-ups find a child's sincere expression of emotions shocking, and so may tend to undermine the child's emotional sincerity.
Lynn, dear, play with your brother. Come on, darling. Play with your brother.
I don't like him.
Well, Lynn, you don't really mean that. You love your brother, of course.
I don't like it.
Oh, be nice to brother. He's our baby.
Send on my leg.
Lynn is jealous of the baby and shows it. No use telling her that she must love Toby. Right now, she wants to get rid of the baby as competition for Mother's love. Mother's insistence that she must love Toby not only confuses her, but increases her jealousy. Another example. This one about learning and unlearning signals that cause emotional upsets. Patsy is scared of dogs, and so's her mother. Patsy's fear is strengthened by the examples of her mother's uneasiness. Whenever she comes out, there's a threatening animal on the street. Gradually, she withdraws from playing outside. One day, her father comes home from the office with a present. She's eager to see it. But out of the box comes a stuffed dog. No, she doesn't like dogs, not even stuffed dogs. It may take a long time for Patsy to become friendly to dogs. That is, to unlearn her fear of dogs. But not all so-called childish upsets are confined to little children. For instance, a youngster may fall back to bedwetting in protest against a new baby. Another may revert to thumb-sucking or nail-biting when facing an unpleasant or threatening situation, a new teacher, or stern parental demand. Adolescence is an especially sensitive age. Sometimes the fear of new responsibilities makes adolescents act in what we call a childish manner. These excursions to less mature behavior are often indications that some disappointment or pressure is weighing upon the youngsters. Recognizing this, parents, friends, and teachers can help them to overcome their troubles and return to a more mature level. We are getting increasingly aware that the emotional causes sometimes lead to physical discomforts, like in the case of this girl. Taking medicine alone may not cure her. Often a competent physician will decide to call upon a psychiatrist or psychologist to help him probe deeper into the emotional causes of certain ailments. Strong emotions tend to express themselves even when we try to hide or suppress them. When continuously suppressed, they may go underground and may interfere with bodily functions such as digestion or elimination, or they may disturb the heart and circulation, or give rise to recurrent headaches. Symptoms of such ailments are often called psychosomatic. Psychosomatic are such physical disturbances that have emotional causes. Up to now, we've been discussing mostly emotional upsets, but our satisfactions are emotions too. The natural love of parents for children is one of them. The affection of parents for each other. The stirrings of attraction between the young adults. All these and many more are high points of emotional satisfaction. The study of emotions is a complex subject. This film set out only to create an awareness of this problem by showing that we all are born capable of emotions, that we develop emotionally through living with others, that there is no golden rule or magic formula for emotional maturation, that emotions cannot be denied, only suppressed. If we recognize and accept our emotions, if we learn to channel them to useful purposes, they will become the raw materials for the building of healthy personalities, capable of feeling and therefore of living rich and full lives as useful members of society.
I knew it! I knew it! All this is her fault. It was never mine all along. All of this, all of it, all along. It was that old lady. She should be going through this, not me. Why, when this is all over, it's back to the gold field with her. I'll never forgive her for this as long as I live.
I knew this would not go smoothly. I did not know it would derail. Explain yourself, Captain. Whose fault would what be?
My mother, she raised me wrong. If she had brought me up right, you wouldn't be blaming me for having stifled my emotions. You should drag my mama here and place her under a microscope. Place her on trial. Judge her guilty. Sentence her to a millennium in solitary. Throw the book at the old bat.
Silence!
Okay, half a millennium, if she behaves herself.
Need I remind you that you were not always so pompous, nor so arrogant, not to mention loud. When you were younger, you were almost tolerable. Need I say it? You were nice. A lot like Mama MT herself in many ways. Those who knew you, those who interacted with you, all of them had many kind words to say about you, Captain MT. Now those same people, from the same time period, cannot find one kind word to say about your current temporal version. How do you explain that fact?
Jealousy. They see perfection and can't stand to see someone improve himself.
I don't think so, Captain. Try again.
It's that old lady's fault. She turned them against me. She's always flapping her jaw, always talking. Who knows all she said to turn people against me? Why, there was this one time in the dog galaxy of Platana 7.
It is not Mama MT who has turned anyone against you, Captain MT. Their reactions to you are of your own doing. The lies, the betrayal, the abandonment. These people don't like you because they don't trust you. Yet these same people liked you when you were younger, when you could be counted on and trusted. These people adore your mother, but these people hate you, with a passion I might add. Even so, for a time, that hate mellowed, when you mellowed, when you allowed yourself to feel.
A momentary lapse. I was under undue pressure from outside influences.
You fell in love. You also received much needed religious instruction.
What of it? That's none of your business.
Perhaps not. However, if you are ever to find peace, you must unlearn what life has taught you. You must learn to find the love that you once had again, either within yourself or somewhere outside.
Is that all?
Only this remains. You did have friends, once. Elmer liked you. He still wants to. Bunsen tolerated you. He still will.
The boob.
Someone even loved you. She still does.
What do you know about that?
We are immortals. What don't we know, Captain?
A lot.
That's why we work together. You choose not to. It's why you fail so often. When you did work with others, for that short period of time, you did not fail. The first river awaits your assistance. Go now, begin your journey.
Bunsen was with you for a long time. He told me so.
Yes, he was.
I can see why.
Thank you for delivering my message. It worked.